Okay, this is my last attempt. If I have to bail out one more time, I'm out for good. So, let me see here. Okay, well, it ain't looking like soft focus penthouse right now. And I just found out that whenever I adjust, when you know the thing that makes the camera go forward or backward, it was only when it goes forward and close to me that it looked like soft focus. And now I have to do it watching it while the screen's on the other side of me. So it'll be another night of not being able to see your comments. But until I can get this figured out, I guess me and Clinton Zilla are going to have to do some kind of powwow, because Malcolm is an admin too, and he couldn't figure out what was going on. And I see I got 3 comments. They're showing that they are there, but I can't see them. So, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, man. I'm just going to break on through to the other side. Because tonight, we are talking about none other than the late, great David Allen Coe. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read your comments when I'm done with the broadcast, and I will answer your questions there. Of course, if you're seeing this on YouTube, your questions won't matter anyway. But feel free to go ahead and ask, okay? And I apologize for the 2 false starts. All right, well, first I want to give a few announcements, and I would like everybody to get their break on through brew ready and get ready to toast, because this past Saturday was the funeral of Jordan Bowman, drummer, fantastic drummer of War Boys, Dead Kings, and Flat Tires, and several more. And yeah, we all knew he was in hospice, and you know what hospice usually spells. So he has passed, and we'd like to drink a toast in memory of Jordan, and our condolences to John Bowman and the rest of the Bowman family, friends, and fans. All right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this David Allen Coe broadcast. I'm going to start telling stories, get everybody hooked. And then I'm going to do commercial breaks, like in the good old days of network television, where you had no control over anything except which of the 4 or 5 channels you were going to watch. Well, as you all probably should know by now, we lost David Allen Coe this past week as well. 80-something years old, man. I in my opinion, that's a good run. But yeah, the world has lost one of the true country music outlaws. One of the last. Who's left? Willie Nelson. That's it, huh? Oh, Hank Jr. But man, I first got in today. I mean, I heard David Allen Coe most of my teenage years, you know, just, when you grow up in this part of the country, and Coe puts out some X-rated underground albums, so you end up hearing that stuff, and you're not quite sure, you know, who it is or whatever, but, you know, as I got more into discovering music and listening to country, you know, on my own, I found David Allen Coe, and even though that X-rated stuff seems to be the first thing people want to talk about, it seems, I mean, like I just did, but there's so much more to this guy than a couple of blue, naughty microculture albums. Way more. He wrote some of the greatest songs in country music ever, in my opinion, anyway. And well, this is my break on through, so it's my opinion. And let's see. The first time I ever went to see him, he used to play the Palomino Club over on Albemarle Road here in Charlotte. It became a tradition for years that he played the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And I guess a couple times it just kind of fell that way, but then it was like an intentional thing because, man, I'm going to tell you, the Palomino Club was the size of a football field, and maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, it was big. And they would pack that place every single Thanksgiving Eve. And I took my father-in-law at the time, Don Daze, rest his soul. We went out there together, and man, this is when this must have been the mid to late '80s. Confederate Railroad was his band. Now, if you know anything about Confederate Railroad, you know that's a top-notch band to be your backup band. And in hindsight, it was probably the worst way to see him for the first time ever. You'll understand as the story goes on. But and let me make something clear before we start. I'm not one of these fans of somebody that just likes to take pot shots at the artist they claim to love. But, and I don't know if y'all know any like that, but I do. And I'm just going to tell you like it was, the way it was, man. And I'm not going to pull any punches on it. But David Allen Coe with Confederate Railroad as his backup group. Big band, very talented bunch of guys. And the thing that really stuck with me on this show, and it made a lasting influence, this is, it's not before he started wearing the crazy wigs. It was kind of like a space in between wig wearing that he was just, actually the way he looked on the Greatest Hits album was pretty much the way he looked at this particular show. And they closed the whole performance that night with a version of the Allman Brothers' Whipping Post. And you know the part in the song, you know, the long build up, the long jam, and then it gets down to the blues part at the end, where it's sometimes I feel, Coe was going through all that. And as he's doing it, he's unbuttoning his shirt. And he gets down to about here, and this is the part in the song, like I've been tied to the whipping post. Man, he ripped that shirt off, wrapped it around him like that. And there's all those prison tattoos all over the place. And man, I got hair standing up on my arm. Man, it made such an impression. I was like, man, I got to get tattoos. I got to get some tattoos now, man. That made quite an impact. And, well, the rest is history. But man, that Palomino pre-Thanksgiving tradition went on for quite a few years. It's where I first saw and had encounter with what would later become a very dear close friend of mine, Mr. Bandana. He was at Every Day with Allen Coe. He worked for Coe at one point. But he was security for Hank Jr. in the 80s, so 70s and 80s. So he knew all those guys. And Mr. Bandana struck a pretty intimidating presence himself. But we were there every Thanksgiving week, you know. And we went there once, and this was during his infatuation with Kid Rock. And look, man, you say whatever you want to say about Kid Rock. You like him, don't like him. Neither way for me, but the fact that he took David Allen Coe out on some of those big tours, you know, big Coliseum tours and all, that's okay by me, man. I like that he reaching back to one of his heroes and give him a little spotlight for a while. But this is when he was in that thing, and he was wearing the dreadlocks, the sunglasses, a little pimp hat, taking a stab at rap. Probably shouldn't have messed with that, but at the show me and Jeff Williams were at, Uncle Cracker came out and did some songs with him. But then at the end, Kid Rock actually came, you know, to the Palomino and did some songs with him. So that was you could tell it was an event, you know what I mean? And Jeff Williams was chugging down blue motorcycles. I don't know if he even remembers the show or not, but I can assure you, Jeff, if you're listening to this in that old truck going that old Lonesome Highway, it was a great show. But once at the Palomino, the Widowmaker from Cocknoose had made sure Coe got one of his, the copy of the record we did, the split single we did together. Or maybe he sent a CD, I don't know, but he made sure he got a copy of Cocknoose's version of Living on the Run. And I'm not even going to attempt to tell Widowmaker's story of how that all went. If you ever get, I don't know, maybe we get him on here sometime. I don't know how I can't even look at comments. I'm going to have somebody on here from far away. But, oh yeah, and so it was being heard, you know, in circles that he was dropping Cocknoose's name in songs and stuff. I thought that was really cool. Really, really proud of them guys for that. That was great. But one of those shows, one of the Thanksgiving shows, I put together a pack of some Antiseen stuff. I think I gave him a Conqueror Worm CD and all that. And I wrote a little note, you know, telling him thank you for coming, playing for us at Thanksgiving again. I wished him and his family a happy Thanksgiving. And I think I wrote something to the effect of, you're a big influence on this stuff right here, like it or not. So one of the roadies took it on the bus and gave it to him. Now I figured he'd see it, find the waste can, chuck it, which maybe he did. But here's what happened afterwards. Jeff Williams and I were standing over to the, it would have been the left side of the stage. and you know the band's playing music, and he comes out, kind of wearing his rhinestone cowboy out. Not the mysterious rhinestone cowboy with the mask, but just, you know, big cowboy hat, shiny, duty-looking coat. But he comes out, and he looks along the front row, and he locks eyes with me, and walks right over to me, and shakes my hand. So I thought, man, well, that's pretty cool. He at least maybe Rhodey told him that's the guy that gave you that stuff or something. But anyway, he opens up with long-haired redneck rock and roll son of the South. And there he comes, man. He drops that Cock News name. You know, I listen to Cock News. And he goes, and I like to listen to a little Antiseen. We're in a club in Charlotte. Man, the audience popped. And I was like, I don't know what. I was impressed, man. I was very humbled. But it was a great show. I didn't get to talk to him. Matter of fact, I never spoke to him. But we've seen each other a bunch. But the most bizarre. But I see he'd have a big band like Confederate Railroad. Then it'd be like a drummer playing a trap set, a bass player, and him sometime. Well, I saw him in 1996 at the Graduate Club over on Tryon Street. Not Tryon. Oh, no, it wasn't Tryon. It's on Highway 49. And right near the college. And man, I'm going to see if I can accurately. I know I've talked about this before, but it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen, man. There was two screens on either side of the stage. A gigantic airbrushed backdrop of his face. There was a platform there, I guess where the drummer, if they had had a drummer that night, would have been. But instead, that was Coe's mic and whatever little effects he had. Excuse me. Working class. And then there was a bass player and another guitar player on either side of him. Now, in front of that it looked like a flea market of all kinds of odds and ends. There was cow skulls. And you got to mention this when you talk about David Allen Coe, man. It's a very odd thing he would have on stage sometime. I'm not sure what the significance was, but it looked like a skin face with one of his long wigs on it. Well, that was in there. Like I said, cow skulls, wagon wheels. Man, I'm thinking even some cactus or something. And man, he had a harmonizer on his voice the whole time. So every time he sang, it sounded like three people singing. I don't think the other guys even had microphones. And man, they had smoke machines. They had laser lights. So they're singing "Will You Lay With Me in a Field of Stone," and you know the lasers like the Who had. That was, that's what he had, and they're just doing like this the whole time. Smoke's going off at random. I'm glad I got to see that, man, because that was the first time I'd seen any of his shows that were like that, and it was the last time I saw any that were like that. But I mean, man, that guy played at every single club in Charlotte, except for like the Milestone and the Snug Harbor. You know, like all the big clubs, he played them. And one day, Mark Rainey from TKO came down to visit, and it just happened to fall on the time that he was playing at Amos's. And I just remembered saying to Mark, man, I don't think that was a good representation of him, man. And he's like, man, I enjoyed it, you know. But hey, well, that's good. that's the point. But he became a David Allen Coe fan for life after that. And one time, Robbie Everett and myself went down to a club in South Carolina off one of those access roads. And, man, this club was huge. And it was packed. There were so many people in this place. Friday night. And, man, we got there. I think when we got there, he had just got on stage. But it was that setup. I think it was just him. What I described earlier. Him, drummer, and maybe another guitar player. And the club had multi-layers, multi-levels all over. Me and Robbie got up over to the side and up kind of high. And, man, just like the cue was given to tell the audience to start brawling. And they did. And, man, it looked like a Doppler radar image of a hurricane. Just spinning. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Then it moved into the next room. And then it came back around. And Coe looked completely unimpressed, unaffected. He may have said something, but man, that's the biggest barroom fight I think I've ever seen in my life. Oh, and there were lots of fights at those shows too. And I seen where Coe would comment. I remember one time at the Palomino, two guys got at it. Security drug them out of there. One guy was kind of doing the whole, whoa, what about, why me, why me? And Coe gets to the microphone, looks at it, and he said, hey boy, you stuck your chest out. And so that means you're gonna have to fight now. And then one of the other weirdest things that ever happened in my years of going to, wait, I gotta back up. That one at the Graduate, the Weird show, I took my copy of Penitentiary Blues, and he wasn't coming out of the bus, but the guy, and it was the roadie guy that had been with him every single time I ever saw him. He'd sit there at the door of the place, or the trailer, and take your stuff in and then, give it back to you. But I got him to sign my copy of Penitentiary Blues. And, but the next weirdest thing that ever happened, it wasn't so much that it was a weird show for him, except for the fact that the opening band was Antiseen at Tremont Music Hall. And man, we used to keep this stuffed possum. I don't mean taxidermy possum, I mean a little toy, fluffy possum on the kick drum. I think Coleman plays with it now. And we'd got through playing, we'd already washed up, changed, coming out to watch him, and I just found that possum, and I put it up on my shoulder, and Coe's up there playing with his harmonizer. It sounds like 15 people are singing, and he does like this, and he gets to the mic, he looks over to the side, he looks back at the mic, and then he goes, like, I can't believe this guy's got a possum in here. I don't know if he figured out it was fake or not, but anyway, yeah, I hate that he gets his whole entire, I don't know, what did he do, play 50 or 60 years worth of music? I guess he wasn't around, he come around in about the late 60s, early 70s, I reckon. But, and people like to focus on those two, I'm going to call them what they were. They were novelty records. If you listen to the albums, those first few, Once Upon a Rhyme, Rides Again, what else? Oh, the Mysterious Rhinestone Cowboy and Longhaired Redneck, all that stuff, and even into that it's mid-period then, I guess, but it's still early. All that stuff is just classic. One of my favorite David Allen Coe songs of all time is called Revenge. And now that's your homework assignment for tonight. If you've never heard that, go to YouTube as soon as you get done listening to old JC and listen to Revenge by David Allen Coe. But it really kind of sucks that we will never see him again. And I talked to some people that said that they'd seen him up, just a couple years ago. He was still sharp, still sounded good. Now I'll drink our break on through toast to David Allen Coe. Now I may have done it earlier, but I'm going to do it again. Drink a toast to David Allen Coe. Truly, one of the greatest of all time. You will be missed, sir. Well, I didn't get to do my thing where I was going to interrupt with some ads, but I'd go ahead and do ads now, I reckon. Well, first of all, if you're in the Charlotte area and you'd like to go visit Jimmy Repo over at Repo Record, he's going to be closed down from May 8th to May 12th for inventory. But he'll be up and open, ready to sell you a record on May 13th. Now, on May 16th, that's a Saturday, you can come see the Clayton and Wensil Band live at the Lodge at the Hatley's Farm in Albemarle, North Carolina. Now, this event starts at 12. We're supposed to be going on right at 12 now. So if you want to see us, get there early, get in, get up, get down, listen to some good old gospel music from what will be our 9-piece band. We cannot wait, man. We had a practice this last Thursday, and we have another one this Thursday, and I'm telling you, it was a very special rehearsal. Not because it just sounded good, but I'm going to say this. Some of you may think this is funny. I don't care what you think, but there was an anointing over this thing. And we are going to take it to the people of my old hometown area now. I've actually lived in New London, but Albemarle was our town. That's where it all started. That's where Antiseen started. Everything. So, like a big full circle moment for me, and I'm very, very proud to play with all these folks, Steve Wensil and all the band we have assembled, some great musicians, and we are very blessed. We'd like you to come out and get blessed too. And if you say, "Dang, Jack, what are you doing, man? You're going full on gospel." Well, on May 22nd, you can see Antiseen doing Eat More Possum in its entirety at the Rooster in Gastonia, North Carolina. That's Friday, May 22nd. We will be playing with the Queen City Rejects, Hellfire 76, and Bell Box. Shows at 8 p.m. sharp. We go on at 10. That's the way we do it. We ain't doing the rock and roll all night party every day anymore. We do the go in there, get it done, go home. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna go back, Jack, do it again the very next night in Charleston, South Carolina, May 23rd at the Tin Roof. So all Gastoniaites and surrounding area, all Charleston pals, come on out. And I'm going to say it again. You got to get up and come on in and get down. It's going to happen. And you might be thinking, well, dang, is that all you got for Antiseen? Nope. Because June 4th, Thursday, June 4th, we will be at the Spirit Lodge in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You know how long it's been since we've been to Pittsburgh? Last time we were in Pittsburgh, we played the 31st Street Pub. And after it closed down, well, the town was never the same to us again. But we're coming back to the Spirit Lodge on June 4th. And on June 5th, coming back to another town we love, man. We love the state of Pennsylvania. We're going to be at in York, Pennsylvania, at the Shiloh American Legion Post 791. Now, when they get their own flyer made, you know, we'll be putting their own flyers up with addresses and all that stuff for you. But we're going to be back in York on June 5th. And man, here's the one. Here's one. I don't know how this is going to go. This could be completely insane. June 6th at Kung Fu Necktie in Philadelphia, otherwise known as Hostel City, USA. Now, they tell me this place is small, but listen to what's pulling in there this night. Everyone's favorite one-trick pony and song and dance troupe, Antiseen, along with the Bad Luck 13 Riot Extravaganza, YDI, and Salik. I guess that's how you say it. I don't know how to say new band names. Salik. But I hear they're good. They wouldn't be on an Antiseen bill if they weren't good. So there you go. I'll tell you something else that reuniting our allegiance with Philadelphia. I don't know if you saw the post on Instagram, but I'm here to confirm to you right here and now that the rumors are true. Antiseen will be doing a split LP with Philadelphia's favorite sons. Eat the Turnbuckle. You heard it here. You saw it on Instagram first, but you heard it here first. It's happening. It's going to be something like you ain't never, ever one time ever heard. So get ready. Well, dang, you're going to put out a split LP. Y'all going to be doing a show. It only makes sense to me, don't it, to you? That we would be doing that? Well, listen, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be a Tent Talks Tunes on Wednesday. Malcolm, I know I can't see you comment if you're even watching tonight, but let the people know. People love the TTT hand signal, and if they ain't going to be able to do it on Wednesday night, well, they need to know to plan their week accordingly. But also, man, if you're online, check out Mondo's posts. Little videos he made. Usually it's food, Mon, or something. But man, he does some pretty funny posts, man. I've been enjoying them for weeks now, or probably months, and check them out. Well, I can't see anyone commenting to tell me if I'm forgetting anything, or if there's something I need to hit on, or if they got questions. I will go back and answer your questions, if there are any, in the comments. It's just going to be another part of the Break On Through workout. You have to go answer the questions at the end until we get this figured out. You know, things always get updated because updates are better. It's better when you can't figure out what you've been doing all along and doing okay with it. But man, I've enjoyed. I don't even know how many of you are here. I don't know how many of you commented at this point, but I just want to say that I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me on a Monday night. And I hope the rest of your week is fantastic. I hope your weekend is something like you ain't never even heard or seen. I hope it's a great time. And I just want you to remember that old JC loves you. The Lord above loves you. And tomorrow, Tuesday, I may have a very special announcement. What are you going to announce? You're going to tell me. Well, I just told you it's going to be one. So you know if I got something to say, everyone's going to know where it is. It's going to be on the Antiseen page. It's going to be on the Jeff Clayton page, Walt Wheat page, Malcolm Kent page. Mondo is going to share it all over the place. Clinton Zilla is going to share it all over the place. Everyone's going to know. The whole town is going to know. What town? Your town, my town. Everyone's going to know. So hopefully tomorrow's the day. But, oh, take a look at my page. Look at all the stuff I put up for sale, man. I got a bunch of rock and roll magazines. I just started putting up underground comics, wrestling stuff, man. I'm gonna keep going. I got boxes and boxes of it, man. I'm gonna start moving it out, and I'm not gonna be a museum. I got them priced to sell. But if you look at it and you go, dang, Jack, that's a little too steep for me, son. I'm working class. Well, then write me. Write me a letter about being in a rock and roll band. Write me. Hey, Jeff Clayton. That says, but I'm saying, who knows? It might be so groovy now that we can finally get it together. Take care, everybody. Thanks for coming. See you soon.